Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Oakland Raiders and the Washington Redskins. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Carr. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is brought in at the 21. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. He finds an opening past the 40. 17 yards that time and a Washington first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Geis with a carry on second down. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Haskins to throw. Jordan Reed has it. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now the first carry for Bryce Love. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Check. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Hey, check 43.
Now a run with Geis. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Alert 3. Alert go. Check nickel.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll run for it with Love. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it was all capped by Bryce Love's touchdown run. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out. And now
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Carr to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Montez Sweat providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Now a hit and a loose football. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
A look at the numbers for Geis a week ago. 21 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Now a give, right side, it's Geis. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff, Geis going right. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Haskins gets this to Reed. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. On first down, it's Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Hopkins with the extra point. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, an update from there. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. He's got Burton here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Check 55. Check 55.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Room to run inside the 40. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Don't let him breathe, defense. Check. Mike, check. 59.
They'll run with Geis. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This is Geis. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Check 3. He's moving, boys, he's moving.
3rd down, here's Geis. And Geis is going to be stopped short as he did not get the push he needed. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
4th down, here's Haskins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Haskins and the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. On the ground, it's Geis. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 2nd down, Love. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
57, let's go tight end. Let's go right here now.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Here's the Raiders punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Bang, 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 bang. Watch twist. Watch twist. Under 10, under 10, 10.
Geis. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go, here we go. Go. Motion, pump. Slam. No.
Here's Geis. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Kill.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And he finds McLaurin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. On the handoff, it's Geis. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis in the final seconds of the first half. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
Rush in. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Show it.
Now Haskins, third and long. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Keep it up, guys.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Complete. Richardson has it. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. On the ground, Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get...
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Montez Sweat. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw his Carr. They'll find Miller. That's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Carr. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. And an alley to run. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Geis showing he's going to be an important part of this Redskin backfield as he's in there again for 1st down. Now it's Haskins. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
58 for Mike. What we got? What we got? What we got?
2nd and 10 now. Haskins. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Redskin 1st down. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On 1st down, here's Love. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
They'll run on 1st down. Love. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. That's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
To throw on third down, Haskins. His throw caught right around the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that will extend this big lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the result, a touchdown for Washington.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Move. You got 3 down.
From the 29, Carr, and that's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
I got one. SOS.
And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll hand it down to Geis. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. But that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspired.
Now Geis stripped. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Haskins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47.
Double up. Double up. Check 43.
Here's Love again. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 23. Haskins now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Check. Hey, check.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 15-yard line. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Throwing now is Carr, and that's complete to Jeffrey. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to eat just a bit into this sizable deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half-yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Staying on the ground with Mack. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Haskins going to try to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the carry, it's Love. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
Then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. That escapes the sack. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Again, Geis, and he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to EA.